My ex came out as a lesbian right before our wedding date. She then lied to everyone, and now they have all abandoned me. It had been 7 solid years with Dana, and from the get-go she was open about her bisexuality. She'd shared stories about her past, relationships with women before we became serious. And honestly, it never bothered me. It felt good having that kind of honesty between us right from the start. Our relationship was never about fireworks or drama. It was more like a steady flame. Sure, we had our share of disagreements, like her habit of leaving dishes in the sink or my tendency to work late without giving a heads up. But we always found our way back, talking things through over late night, cups of coffee or early morning walks in the park near our apartment. Living together brought its own rhythm to our lives. We fell into comfortable routines, like how every Saturday morning we'd hit the local farmer's market. Dana would gravitate toward the fresh cut flowers, and I always picked up an extra loaf of sourdough from the baker. Evenings often found us in our little kitchen, Dana trying out new vegan recipes she'd found online while I played taste tester, or both of us curled up on the couch, binging our latest Netflix obsession or deep diving into playlists of newly discovered bands. A relationship might not have been the stuff of grand romances, but it was real. It was the small moments, the quiet understanding, the shared smiles over inside jokes that nobody else got. It was in these moments that I saw a future with her, a lifetime of these small, perfect snapshots. After 7 years, it felt right to take the next step, to ask her to marry me, to officially build a life together. This wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment decision. It was built on countless little moments that told me we were right for each other. Everything seemed to line up perfectly. We were solid emotionally and financially. We built a life together in our cozy 2-bedroom apartment. Surrounded by plants, Dana loved to care for and framed photos, capturing our best moments. It felt like everything we did naturally synced, whether it was saving up for a dream, vacation, or just planning our weekly meals. We were a team, and I never doubted we were on the same track. Deciding to propose felt like the most natural next step. I wanted everything to be perfect to reflect the thoughtfulness and depth of our relationship. It took weeks of planning, selecting the right ring, a simple yet elegant band that suited her understated style, choosing the perfect day, and orchestrating a scenario that was intimate and personal. I chose the little art gallery where we had our first date, under the guise of a new exhibit. I knew she wouldn't want to miss it. The gallery was small and intimate, filled with soft lighting and the gentle hum of other visitors, giving it a lively yet private feel. As we walked through discussing various pieces, my heart pounded with a mix of nerves and excitement. At the center of the gallery, beneath her favorite painting, a vibrant, abstract piece that always seemed to ignite her passion for art, I stopped. The moment felt suspended in time. I reached into my pocket, feeling the cool metal of the ring box, got down on one knee, and her hands flew to her mouth in surprise. "Will you marry me?" The words felt both monumental and terrifyingly fragile in the air between us. Her eyes, always so full of warmth and understanding, widened as she hesitated. That moment of hesitation felt like an eternity, stretching out painfully long. I could see the conflict passing through her gaze, and my heart sank a little with uncertainty. But then softly, almost a whisper, she said yes. The glow of our engagement should have filled the next few days with joy and excited planning. In many ways, it did. Our friends were ecstatic, their faces lighting up as they tossed around ideas for the wedding, beachside ceremonies, rustic barn venues, even a destination wedding in Italy. The enthusiasm was contagious, and it carried me along for a while, but something nagged at me, an undercurrent of unease that I just couldn't shake. It started with Dana's hesitation. That moment, as brief as it was, planted a seed of doubt in my mind. Why did she hesitate? I couldn't help but ask her later that evening as we lay in bed, the light from the street lamps casting soft shadows across our room. I was nervous. she said simply, her voice steady but her body tense beside me. I wanted to believe her, to write it off as pre-proposal jitters, but it felt like there was something more she wasn't saying. I pushed a little, but she shut down the conversation with a kiss and whispered, "Let's just enjoy this moment." So I let it go, not wanting to spoil the brief peace we had. Then there were her parents. We visited them the next day to share our news. I expected joy, or at least a warm embrace of congratulations. Instead, I was met with strange smiles and hesitant congratulations. Her father's pat on my back was a bit too forceful, and her mother's eyes darted away too quickly when our gaze met. They were acting, putting on a show of happiness, but their eyes didn't match their expressions. This was not the reaction I expected from the people who should have been overjoyed for their daughter. Their odd behavior only added layers to my unease. Why would they fake their happiness? What was making them hold back? The questions multiplied, swirling in my mind. I tried talking to Dana about it, pointing out how off her parents seemed. "They're just surprised, that's all. They'll come around," she said, brushing it off too quickly, too easily. Our friends' reactions stood in stark contrast. They were genuinely thrilled, already diving into planning and celebrations. The genuine excitement was a relief, but also made the falseness of her parents' reactions even more stark and troubling. It felt like I was living in two realities. One, where our engagement was the best news ever, and another shadowed by hidden truths and half-hearted congratulations. Then that day came, a day that seemed no different from any other. I walked through our front door after a long day at work, only instead of finding Dana in the kitchen or curled up on the sofa with a book, as I would on any other day, she was standing by the door, her posture tense, a suitcase at her feet. My heart sank at the sight. "What's going on, Dana?" I asked, my voice steady despite the dread beginning to cool inside me. Dana looked at me, her eyes not holding the warmth I was used to, but a somber resolve instead. "Listen, I know this is going to be hard for you," she started, her voice trembling slightly, "but I'm not bisexual. I'm lesbian." The words hung in the air between us, heavy and cold. My parents knew this for 2 years, and this is why they weren't happy and were faking it. "Please, I beg you, do not make this difficult. Just let me leave. Don't cry, don't beg, and don't scream. Just let things go like adults," she continued, her voice growing firmer with each word. I stood there frozen as she picked up her bag and walked past me, not once looking back. The front door closed with a click that echoed through the empty apartment. The silence was suffocating. I didn't move, didn't call out to her. I couldn't. The shock pinned me in place, my mind racing yet blank, unable to process the sudden void Dana left in her wake. For what felt like an eternity, I stood there, grappling with a torrent of emotions. Betrayal, confusion, heartache. Each one hit me harder than the last. How could the person I loved, the person I was about to marry, keep something like this from me? How could she leave so suddenly, so coldly, as if our years together meant nothing? Dana, the woman I thought I knew, the woman I planned a life with, had vanished, leaving behind a stranger with her face. The realization was brutal, a sharp pain that felt both numbing and searing at the same time. As the minutes ticked by, the initial shock slowly morphed into a profound sense of loss. The future we had envisioned together, our shared dreams and plans, dissolved right before my eyes. 3 months had crawled by since Dana left. During these months, not a single text, call, or knock on the door came. It was as if I had vanished from the lives of those I considered close. Dana had blocked me the very day she left, and her parents, who once welcomed me into their home, didn't bother to reach out. Our mutual friends remained silent. Their social media posts were filled with praise for Dana, celebrating her bravery and authenticity. Each post was a dagger, reminding me of my own isolation. My health deteriorated rapidly. The stress and emotional turmoil manifested physically. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I was hospitalized 3 times in those 3 months. Each visit was a blur of IV drips, sympathetic nurses, and doctors advising me to take it easy, as if my body's betrayal was something I could moderate with a bit of rest. Work became my only routine, the only thing that kept me anchored to some semblance of normality. I dragged myself there in the mornings. The tasks were a welcome distraction, but leaving only to return to an empty home, where the quiet was suffocating, was unbearable. Meanwhile, Dana's journey was public, her narrative one of overcoming and authenticity. I couldn't escape it. Every time I logged online, there it was. The story of how she had finally found herself. The world praised her, admired her courage, while I became a ghost.